Hi everybody, welcome to Silver Bunny Stitches. I'm Jenny. Hello to anybody new and welcome back to anybody who is an existing subscriber and who is still watching me after all this time, because it has been a long time since I filmed last. Life has been really busy, but not necessarily in good ways, but I'm going to discuss that all at the end, so if you don't want to stick around for life stuff, you don't have to sit through it. I have some finishes, I've got lots of fabric that I bought, I have plans for 2024, which is really unusual for me, and lots of things to show you that I've been stitching on. So we will dive straight into it. I'm going to show you one thing now, and then I'm going to throw you back to a few days ago when I had to look at most of my finishes. I like to film my YouTubes in sections. So this is the thing that I've stitched since Christmas. It was a body threads kit. So I've done it on kit fabric, which is 14 count. It's called Ho Ho Ho. I should have had gold words that said ho 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 on it, but I didn't want them. I'm going to finish this in a hoop, which I've actually already bought because I was doing an order of some finishing supplies, and I'm going to hang him up as an ornament for next Christmas. He is absolutely gorgeous. I found him quite tricky to do because there were lots of very similar colours. But yeah, it's super cute. Right, I'm going to throw you back to look at the other things, and I'll meet you back here in like 2 minutes. Oh, and there might be a tour. I think I did a little Christmas tour. If I can find that, I'll include that as well, because I had all my like Christmas displays and Christmas finishes and stuff. Okay, see you back here. So, because of my plans for next year, I had a bit of a drive towards the end of the year to finish things. It has been quite a while since we spoke last, but I've got some quite big plans for next year, and it involved me needing to finish some things that I'd got on the go. So I finished this one. We don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. That is a Emma Congdon pattern out of one of her books. This one, I've struggled with this one. I actually got along with the age a lot better after it had softened up, but I'd gone wrong here somewhere, and I thought I could fudge it, but I actually ended up having to rip out like this whole section because it was just going to be off by too much. But I really enjoyed doing the sea and these orca in particular. So this one's finished. I think it'll just get finished on some cardboard, and I've got an easel where I want to have up sort of across stitches, which I'll probably swap out every now and again. So that's the plan for this one. It's on account 16 Ada in Winter Meadow, but I don't know who it's by because I got it from a mystery pack. And there's a bit of an ombre. It goes from blue to kind of a orangey, yellowy, earthy colour and back to a blue. So that's that one. And I finished my Black Needle Society piece. The impossible could not have happened, therefore the impossible must be possible in spite of appearances, by Agatha Christie. This is on a Count 16 Ada by KLT Charting. I believe in the colour the High Heeled Stitcher. Really enjoyed doing this one, although it's a darker yellow and a lighter yellow in a toile, and I mixed them up, but I actually mixed them up putting them onto the bobbin. So I think I've now swapped them round so they're the right way, but I'd got a massive chunk of the yellow done before I realised, and I wasn't about to change it because I don't think it makes much difference. Yep. Is that one? So that will probably have exactly the same thing done with it as I'd spoken about for the Emma Congdon piece. Then I finished my Autumn Lane project, Hocus Pocus, which I'm going to finish in a hoop, which I'm going to paint black because I don't think I've got anything for Halloween that's finished in a hoop, and this is a lovely circular design. But yeah, this was on I don't think it had a name, but this was by this, I want to say Stitchy Ferret, the Ada. And again, it's count 16. Gorgeous colour though. And this one I really, really enjoy doing, especially the green, because it stands out so much. And this is a pattern which I wasn't particularly interested in until I saw Cassandra, one of the designers, or one of the pair that do the autumn lane stitchery designs. She was stitching it and it just looks so gorgeous. So that's that one. And then I've got two small ones. I finally took this out of timeout. It's a Mill Hill kit. And I kept going wrong when I first started in this section, like 3 or 4 times, and it had to go in timeout. And I didn't want to touch it or to look at it for well over a year, I think. And then I decided that I would drag it back out again, and I finished it, no problems. So I don't know what my problem was before, but yeah. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with this one yet, but I'm hoping I'll get it fully finished before Halloween this year to be able to put up. So that's that one. And the last one, I finished this. And this was a start just either on or before Christmas. This year it might actually have been Christmas Day I started this. It's a Heritage Craft kit. But I swapped out the Ada because they had out a white Ada, and then you stitched the background blue and you did snowflakes. And I was like, well, I have a bluey grey fabric already that has snowflakes on it. So, yeah, so I stitched that out. I also did it on count 16 instead of count 14. But everything else is as it should be. I'm going to finish him in a hoop. And he was my last finish of 2023. And I think my husband at like 10:30 on New Year's Eve, because we've not been particularly well, he was like, oh, come on, let's go up to bed. And I was like, I can't. I was like, I literally had like this bit here of back stitching to do. And I was like, I can get this finished in 2023. I just need like 20 minutes. So I sat up for 20 minutes and finish this one off before going to bed. He's absolutely gorgeous. He's going to be made into some form of a possibly a hoop decoration for the tree for next year. I've left him in the hoop because I'm going to measure him so I can make sure that I buy the right size, because I don't want one that's got this on it. I want one that's got a nice hanging finisher on it. So there we go. So that's him. And that is all my finishes that I've had. So I will speak to you all in a moment. Bye. So this is the current drawer of perpetual waiting situation. You can see it is almost full again. To be honest, I think it's only a few months since I emptied this out. I didn't finish everything, but I took them upstairs and decided what I wanted to do with them, and it's already almost full again. So I think either we're going to have to do some serious finishing of stuff in the new year, or I'm going to have to get a bigger drawer of perpetual waiting. Suspicion it might be the latter that happens, but we'll see. Okay, and we are back for whips. So I have been trying to work quite a bit on my Hade this year. I realised I think I was at 10%, and that might have been like a year and a half's worth of work or something, and I was like, this is going to be here forever. So that is my Heaven and Earth design, mini Equus. Now, let's see. Oh, it doesn't look brown, it looks purple. Luckily, purple's my favourite colour, or else there'd be a problem. This is how far I have got. So, no, that's not going to work. So, since you saw it last, I have stitched this bit. Oh, that section. Oh, that works. I can just do that. So yeah, all of this I put in. It is starting to look like a horse's mane now. You can really see it coming in. But yeah, I was like, this is going to sit around forever if I don't work on it. So I've put it on like a 1 strand a day. Turns out usually I put 2 in. But I'm not giving myself any strict rules. If a day that I don't pick it up, then it doesn't matter. It's just trying to get a bit of progress in on it. Yeah, because I don't want it to sit around forever, and I never reach for this one. So I was like, 1 thread a day, that you know, it's not a big deal. Yes, and I've moved into a different section, and you can't really see it. There are some different colours in here. This was very much the same colours, so I've gotten some brighter purples and things in, which I'm really enjoying. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look, it looks more purple in person, but it doesn't look too purple. I know, I'm trusting the pattern, but I thought I'm going to work my way. So I was working like strict diagonals, and then I realised that I was getting a little bit of lineage. So I've switched to more of just like feathering in, kind of keeping it a rough diagonal. But I'm going to try and work my way all the way to the edge and then down, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm really excited to get to the horse's eye, because literally that's like the only landmark on the pattern. I mean, I guess his nose. There will be a bit as well, but yeah, his eye. When I see his eye come in, I'll be happy. But I don't know, that might be on this page. I don't know. Do we think it was? Yeah, I think it might be. It might be about here. So we'll see. I think I'm at like 12% now. So I've got 2% in this year, which I don't think is too bad. I have got so much out. I'm going to struggle with places to actually put them down. Let's try that. And if I move this one, then I create a little bit of space to be able to shove things in. So this was, I wasn't expecting to start this one, but I saw it on Facebook and fell in love with it. I'm hoping I like the rest of the pattern as much as I like this bit, because it's a sal. I don't usually do sals. I can't remember. Oh, this fabric was by Coffee Craft Fabrics of her Sunday sale. It's one of those ones where I didn't read the description. I just saw blue and purple and thought, oh, Halloween, but it wasn't. It was blue, purple and pink. So it wasn't particularly Halloween-y, but when I saw this design, I just felt it would be perfect. I think I'm going to have far too much fabric, but rubbish at folding. I can't fold lawn, like sheets and stuff. My mum, she's right, shorter than me, you know, less wide arms. She can fold them perfectly. Mine just look like an awful scrappy mess. So it was no surprise I can't fold fabric. So it's Anderson's and Other Fairy Tales, I think it's called. It started off with the ugly duckling. And I just thought it was so cute. My frog is the wrong colour. He should be this colour. No, focus on the piece. Yeah. The frog should be like the bulrush colours, but I accidentally started on the wrong colour. And then I decided he would just be that colour. But I just thought that was so cute. So this is as far as the pattern has got. They haven't released anymore, and they won't until the 1st of February. That is so cute. I love the ugly duckling as a story. Yes, so the Coffee Craft Fabrics doesn't give her fabric names, so I can't tell you what it is. Neither can you get it, because she just dyes like one-off batches. But yeah, it's 16. I think it's 16 count. Like 16 or 18, definitely not 14. So that was that one. What else have we got to show you? I've done loads of work on this. I'm kind of doing whip go, but there's like no pressure. And what happens is I put a load of pressure on myself to complete it, and then I feel bad and I don't do it, and then I feel a failure. So this year I've given myself relatively easy goals on the whip go, things like 100 stitches, 1,000 stitches, sorry, on a project. But if I complete and get my goal, whatever the number was, like 22, I think was the Haid, which was 1,000 stitches, I've put £22 in a saving account for when I go to the Knitting and Stitching Show. So if I don't complete them, that's fine. I just don't get any money to go towards the Knitting and Stitching Show. If I do, then I'll put that money aside. And I'm hoping that'll make me feel less, because I don't want to feel pressured by my stitching. I just want to do it because it's fun, but also I wanted to participate in work. Anyway, the next one is my Ghost and Pumpkin. Now, last time you'd seen this, I think I'd done one tiny little bit of blue blob here. It is by Svetlana Shikar, I think. I'm going to put that there so that if I've butchered the name, you'll be able to find it. I got it off Etsy. Super cute. It's on fabric I dyed myself, count 16. You can tell I dyed it myself because it's like all scraggly and unironed. And this is how far we are through now. So I'm super pleased, super pleased. My whip goal for this month was the Haid, but also to complete a quarter of it. So this will be a quarter. So I only have this little bit left. But no pressure if I don't. So yeah, it's super cute. I absolutely adore all these, like, because usually you just think of Ghost as being white, but there's yellows and purples and blues and blends and mixes. Gorgeous. I can't wait to backstitch this pumpkin. I'm just gonna wait till I do this last bit here, and then I'm gonna do him. So there we go. So he's currently what I'm stitching on at the moment. Tidy up as I go along, or else it's going to be chaos later. What else have we got? Right, I've worked quite a lot on my Pride and Prejudice piece by Mandarinks Designs. So this I've done quite a lot on, but it's kind of, it's not been one area specifically that I've worked on. I've kind of just generally worked on it. But since you saw it last, I think I've stitched most of this here. I definitely filled in all of Elizabeth, and I'm trying each time I work on it to fill in some of Darcy as well. But I think I'm only at like about 50%, and I really felt I should be further through than I am. But I love working with all the greens. I'm not usually attracted that much to greens, but they're just so vibrant to work with. Yeah. And that's as far as the pattern goes there, and then it comes up into Elizabeth. I think that's on his, and this one's Darcy. Yeah, I worked loads on that one before Christmas. One away. What else have I worked on? I worked a tiny bit on my Dimensions Peacock. I do struggle with the dimensions with the blends. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. I am not doing it on the kit fabric. I did it on some KLT charting fabric, which I cannot remember the name of now because I took the label off it, which was stupid. Yes, so I think I'm working around about here, but not getting very far on it. It lives on my scroll frame, that way up. Yeah, so I think last time since we spoke, I've done this bit here. But I need to get some threads onto bobbins with the blends. Because that was somebody I saw the other day done, I think was it the Hookah Stitcher? She'd gone through and made up all her threads, so she didn't have to blend them as she went along. She had them all blended and ready to go. So I might do something like that, so it's not such a pain. But yeah, it lives on this frame. But I accidentally, it was getting dusty because I left it like lining up like that. So now I'm lining it up like that. So if anything gets dusty, it's the back. I really need to find something to put it into. That will be much more sensible. This one I don't have a cover picture for because I'm making it up as I go along. It is the lyrics for my brother and sister-in-law's wedding. I haven't done much on it because I find it quite intimidating because I don't have a pattern because I'm making it up myself. But it's the lyrics. Is it Perfect by Ed Sheeran? Barefoot in the grass listening to our favourite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I've met an angel in person and she looks perfect. I don't deserve this. You look perfect tonight. So I've done, this is like the last line. Oh, what do you call them? I don't do music. Verse? in the song, and then I don't know how much of a gap to leave before going up to the next verse. And I don't know whether to do all the choruses. I don't know. But it's an absolutely massive piece of fabric, so it is living on here because I don't want to take it off. It's literally folded and folded because I didn't know how big it was going to be because I'm doing it myself. And at the top I'm going to try and get some sort of fancy letters to say perfect, but we'll see. But I really think my letters look really nice. There we go. So it barely fits in here. I will get it back out again. If you're watching this, Liz, it will come out. It will work on it, I promise. And this is a new start. It is Shannon Christine, I think. There's my... Okay, I thought I had a better picture of this one. That's not great. You have to look at a tiny, tiny picture of it. I got this in the Knitting and Stitching show this year. I was going to do it as... nope, I don't know where I was going with that. But it's really pretty. But I'm struggling with it. I'm doing it on a piece of even weave. No, linen. Chromatic Alchemy 28 count linen, which I got on a... being sold off. It was a freebie table, but it wasn't free when I went to a stitching retreat. And this is as far as I've got. Is that right? No, that way up. I'm really struggling with it. It's so bitty. It's really annoying. You know, you do 3 stitches of this orange here, and then you need the orange here, and then you need the orange here. But I can't count as easily on linen as I can on Ada. So it is slow going, this one. I'm just putting in like a few stitches at a time. I already had to pick out all this from up here because I'd gone wrong on it. But yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous and the fabric is lovely, lovely colour. But yeah, it's usually this type of stitching I would do in the night and it'd be quite mindless stitching when I'm watching TV. This isn't mindless. This I have to really pay attention. There we go. But I've changed some of the colours. I'm not doing any of the cry knit, what she's talking about. I think I've got an étoile. Did I put an étoile out? Let's see. Not all of... It's a right mismatch. Not even all my colours are DMC. Some of them are Anchor. No, I don't have... I have that E3852 that I'm doing as my sparkly. It'll be a nightmare to work with. I've done this, worked this before. It's horrible. But I don't think there's much. And there's some beads as well, but I'm hoping I can just... I do keep all the old Mill Hill beads from Mill Hill kits, so I'm just grab some of them. Then I'm going to pause you because the last one I need the picture for, and I'm sure it's in the lounge somewhere, so I'll be right back. Right, we found it. It's by Night Spirit Studio, and it's called Ghost Hunting. It says, I'd rather be ghost hunting. Absolutely love this one since the moment I saw it. I bought it ages ago and it's just been sat. But when my husband bought me loads of Black Ada, I cut a piece in half and started this one. So I'd got the I'd rather be ghost hunting, and now I just have the rest of this twirl and the ghosts at the top. So I think a couple of days, 3 days worth of stitching, and I should be finished this one. I'm trying to work on it on the daytime because at night the light isn't great. I do actually have a new light because my old one died, but it's not as good as a natural light. Although in fact, actually sometimes I have natural light, the light on, and my stitching light on. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying this one, and it's stitching up so quickly. Yes, that's all the works in progress that I've worked on. You're not seeing Dark Queen of the Earth because I've not done anything on her. I went wrong with the back stitch and I had to unpick loads and I got really angry with it. And then when I went to the Knitting and Stitching show, the place didn't have any of the beads I needed, so I need to do a bead order for her. Yeah, it's just complicated, but I'm going to pick her up. I am going to finish her off because I think I've done all the stitching now, and it's just the bit of back stitching like on her dress at the bottom. So it's really, you know, a couple of days and it'll be done. And then I can just find the beads. I mean, I've got some of the beads. I could at least put the beads on I've got. Yeah, and then I actually have got something on the way to frame her. It's like one of the poster hanger things where there's a magnetic strip at the top and a magnetic strip at the bottom. Yeah, so that's where we are. So I will tidy this all away and I will get out the things that I'm planning on working on this year. So I will speak to you in a minute. Okay, I've put them away. They're in a giant pile there. But if I sit here, you can't see them. So everything that I bought that I haven't perhaps bought for my start, all the things this year, it's all fabric. Oh, odd for me. Okay, so I have put everything away in a giant pile behind me. I'm going to sit like this. You can't see it. Ignore the games console there. We are in complete and utter disarray. Yeah. So everything that I've got basically is fabric. And a lot of it came from the Knitting and Stitching show. So Sparkly's was there, who I love her things. I wasn't able to always get Ada, so some of this actually isn't Ada, but it's roughly like, well, what would be 16 count in Ada. So this one is Black Dahlia. But thought that was lovely and Halloweeny. I'm thinking of going to the Knitting, well, I'm going to go to the Knitting and Stitching show again this year. However, my best friend is trying to persuade me to go to the Knitting and Stitching show in London, which I don't think Sparkly's go to. If anybody knows, and she is there, let me know. Yeah, her sister does, I mean, I'm good friends with the sister. Her sister was in my brother's year at school, my brother's class, I think, at school. So I know and get along with Ruth really well. My friend is emigrating again. Again, she goes for like 6 months at a time. I think she's in New Zealand this time. So yeah, so she was like, why don't you go with my sister, come down to London on the train, make a bit of a weekend of it. So we're going to see whether finances agree to me doing that. But this is Tropical Reef 32 count even weave. So again, pretty much 16 count in Ada. Lovely. I don't know why I buy blue like this. I always think, oh, I should put a mermaid on it, but I don't have any mermaids. But it was too pretty to not come home with me. Oh, and I have found, speaking to the lady at Sparkly's, whose name I cannot remember, some fabric to go with my Snow Queen. I've ordered the bead pack, but I ordered it from Crate Nostalgia. I think it was Crate Nostalgia, but they didn't actually have it in. It let me order it, but so that's coming in February because I was like, I don't mind waiting. They were really sweet, get in touch with me. Yes, so I'll have the bead pack. Then I need to decide which of the fancy flosses I'm buying because I can't afford to buy them all. Yeah, but she had this fabric which went from like whites and pinks and purples, like in an ombre. It looked absolutely gorgeous and it would work perfect for her. So that I need to order at some point. We've got some linen, 36 count Maelstrom. That is, it's trying to focus on me. Focus on that. There we go. Okay, very pretty. Right, and I've got one more piece from Sparkly's. My mum and dad were really sweet and said I could buy some fabric while I was there and that they would pay for it. I was going to do like a taking you around the Stitchy show, but I really wasn't having good pain a couple of weeks. I was having problems with my tendonitis and I was in quite a lot of pain, so I didn't feel like doing it. But I might this year if I don't go in with Ruth. So this one's Rosie's Joy. I do wonder about the names, where they come from sometimes, but I should probably ask. And that's kind of more of a purpley colour. Gorgeous. Something witchy on that, probably. I'm going to have a house full of Halloween stuff in a couple of years. Because previously I just used to stitch for other people, but now I just stitch for me basically. So we've got some more of this stuff that I bought from 123 Stitch. I think I've got about 6 pieces. I got them all in 18 count because I figured you can fit more onto a smaller space. This one is Haunted Ada, which I really like that one. This one I have no idea what I'll do with it, and I'm not 100% sure why I got it, but it's Count Dusk. It's not showing up properly. It's like a mossy forest green, like a dark green. Yeah, if you think like pine trees, that sort of green. This one I love. This is Monster Mash. I really wish I'd got a piece that had that modelling down here as well, but something Halloween is going to go on that. That green is not coming up very well. It's really bright. If you think of like bright, what you think to be like bright snot green they would have in like kids stuff for boys, that's the colour. Say boys, girls might like snot too. I only have a boy. So I've got Count Vault. It's coming up quite nicely. It's got kind of almost a greeny tint to the splotches that are on it. And lastly, I got Count Spice. It's another brownie one. Because I think how a lot of Halloween stuff does look good on brown. Right, so that is absolutely everything. I always start my flosstubes topsy-turvy, so I've filmed most of it, and now I need to go back and film the intro. I don't know why, but I feel more comfortable doing the intro afterwards. That's why it's kind of broken into sections, mine, because I like doing them when I feel like doing them. I'm going to go put all this away. Thank you ever so much to anybody who has tuned in to watch. It means an awful lot, especially as a small channel, that people are taking the time to come and watch me. I am going to try and get back to filming more frequently. This last 9 months has not been great. I've had quite a few health stuff. I've been on vitamin D tablets and iron tablets because of both. Apparently those were both low when they did a blood test, even though I take vitamin D supplements. But we think that when I had COVID over summer, it just basically wiped everything out. Yeah, I had an MRI scan this morning of my head. I've been having problems for about 2 years on my balance, and I spent months waiting for an appointment at the balance clinic. And I had that last week. Yeah, and then they think that apparently your balance is like your ears, your eyes, and like your muscles. And they think that because I have lower limb problems, because I had a bad car accident and basically everything is pinned, plated together, they think that I'm relying too much on my eyes. So eyes are doing far too much of the work, and my balance, I'm not relying on my balance at all. So then when things move, like children in the school playground or cars and I'm crossing the road, my body can't cope. So they're just doing they were doing a scan this morning to just check, I think it was my balance nerves or something, just to check they're okay. And then I think they're going to give me some physio to retrain my body to listen to my feet as well as my eyes and presumably my ears. So we've had that ongoing. My husband had a bit of a diabetic emergency. He developed a massive abscess on his foot, so he got rushed into the podiatry, and then the podiatry looked at it and went, oh my god, it's not an abscess, it's an ulcer underneath the abscess. If you're diabetic, you do not want ulcers on your feet. That can eventually lead to foot loss or leg loss. So they all were in a major panic. He had like full diabetic reviews. He's still ongoing. He's had to have like fasting blood tests, normal blood tests. They whacked his medication up because, like all of us, he didn't look after himself perhaps as well as he should have done during COVID. yeah, but they're getting him back under control now. My son, I think I probably mentioned that he had been picked up at this time last year as possibly having ADHD. So we've been in the system. It takes about a year plus in England and the NHS to get an appointment to see a professional or a board of professionals. I think it's a committee or something, I don't know. But we're on the waiting list for that. And that was picked up by his teacher last year, who's had a behaviour. Now, he was like, I've got rid of all the naughty behaviour that your son was doing the year before, because the year before teacher was really nice, but Davin, you can't give him an inch because he'll take a mile. So he didn't do very well with him. But Mr. Peacock was like, we've got rid of all the naughty behaviour, but we're still getting like outbursts of stuff which doesn't seem normal. So he was like, we'll be really careful who we put Davin with next year to make sure that it can be as good as possible for him. So they put him with Miss Flood, who used to be the head of Senko, so she's very knowledgeable. And she pulled me aside in the parents' evening and she was like, we think he's got autism as well. So that was a bit of a shock. I know that autism and ADHD often go hand in hand, but all the behaviours which I'd put down to ADHD, a lot of them we now think are autism. He's having quite a hard time socially at school because he can't, he's finding it difficult to learn the social cues. Like he'll get right up in people's faces and scream at them. Not like nastily, just like in play, but obviously they don't want that and they don't like that. It was fine when he was younger because they all did it, but now they're like 7, 8, they're kind of getting past that. So he's having a few issues. So we're having to do a lot more play dates, contact. I'm having to go on courses and classes and watch YouTube videos and learn, and it's been really tough. And on top of all that, my little dog is not well. She's curled up on the floor at the moment. She in August she came up with like really raised glands under her neck, and the vet was like, well, we're either looking at glandular fever or lymphoma. And he was like, we can do a biopsy, but he was like, it's not particularly pleasant for the dog. And what we're going to find out from that is that she's got glandular fever, which we can't do anything about, or she's got lymphoma. And he was like, we could do chemo, but that chemo will not, it won't cure her. It's just going to give her extra months. But he said it will make her really poorly. And he was like, she won't understand why she's sick. And he said also, we've got dogs that we put on it and then they've passed away 2 months later because it's just really aggressive and they spend their last 2 months ill. So we decided that we weren't going to put her through chemo because she's old. She'd just be miserable. And if it's not going to cure her and just give us a couple of extra months, but her life is not going to be as good. I suffer from chronic pain myself. I was like, I don't want to put her through that. Because she's 12 and a half now, so the average lifespan's 12 for a Cavalier. So we're getting towards the end of her life as it is. So we went away, and he was like, we'll just keep in touch every month. We'll come in and you'll have an appointment and we'll just check how she's doing. And we went fine for about 5 months. And then he was like, yeah, I can feel other glands are coming up. So we know it's lymphoma. It's not glandular fever. And she just, after Christmas, started to just take a bit of a nosedive, very clingy. She wanted to eat. She'd go to a food bowl. She'd try and eat, but it was like she couldn't eat. And the vet thinks that they've just gone a bit too swollen and she couldn't eat properly. So we've got her on some steroids and she's really picked up again, just like normal. The only problem is there's a side effect of like needing to urinate more, which isn't a problem. I'm quite happy to let her out as much as she needs. But yesterday she started peeing on the sofa. So like incontinence. So we've dropped her steroids down, which she said we could do. And we'll see whether she continues as good on the lower dose. And hopefully it gets rid of the incontinence. Or if not, I think we're probably looking at some form of doggy nappy. But I found some that were like really soft, like not fur, but like, lovely soft material, and they have like lovely soft inners. So it's not going to be like uncomfortable or nasty for her. But yeah, it's really sad. I'm trying. Yeah, we've probably got 6 months, so we can make it a good 6 months. Yeah, that's really hard. I've never had a dog before, so I didn't realise how attached you got. Anyway, is that pause then? Yeah, so it is what it is. But yes, so that's where we are. That's why I've not really been around, because there's been an awful lot going on. Yeah, but I've been continuing to stitch because it's what makes me feel good. So I will try and come back sooner than I have done, but I say that every single episode and then I never do. But my husband bought me, I mean, you can't see it, but he bought me a tripod for Christmas, because before I had my camera and it was like in my lap stitching frame, which is one of those ones where you just attach a hoop onto and it slips under your leg. So it was on that, and then it was piled up on stuff and it used to, yeah, wobble, and yeah, it wasn't great. He's also got me a microphone, but I put it on and the tripod fell over, so we're gonna have to have a look at that. But yes, but I'm using the tripod. So he described it as to me as to my YouTuber's first kit. So it's like for new baby YouTubers, this is what you use. So but I hope 2024 has been really kind to everybody, and I will speak to you all soon. Okay, take care. Bye.